That Clover has done it again. It has reached the peak of modern shonen greatness. I can honestly say the elf art currently in the manga is the best material out right now. Now, if you don't read the manga at this point, you're honestly missing out. So please read the manga. It's so lit. Every week it's blowing our goddamn minds. Don't you want to join in? Don't you want your mind to be blown? Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep into my analysis of the latest Black Clover chapter, and yet again it has revealed a shit ton of information that answers the biggest questions we have about the series. A couple of my predictions from my analysis about the last chapters have turned out to be true, as well as the big reveal about Yuno. So if you do not read the manga, then obviously this video will contain spoilers, so without further ado, let's cue the intro.
You don't fuck with neck, bro.
If you want great anime clothing, check out DesignByHumans. They sell hoodies, t-shirts and sweaters with endless amount of designs on all the anime that we love. Use the discount code ABD to receive 10% off your whole order. I have bought many of their anime clothes over the 2 years, and they are long lasting. The print doesn't wash off and the quality stays. Check it out. So from the last chapter, Asta stated he had a feeling that he already knew the demon that is in front of them. This is because the master demon is the one that created that grimoire of despair that he has, and the devil residing in that grimoire must know that he came into existence because of the despair that the real Licht felt after the massacre, or maybe he was sealed within it from another purpose. We found out today that the 5-leaf Black Clover are born from the despair of a 4-leaf grimoire owner. The only one that we knew from that time that was an elf that had it was Licht himself. Asta's one is called the Grimoire of Despair and became a 5th leaf with the devil inside. Asta's grimoire originally belonged to Licht himself. When the real Licht fought Asta and Yuno around manga chapter 156 I believe, we now know that Licht was not the one that casted the reincarnation magic, but it was in fact the devil who did it, this new demon that we see. Literally everything comes full circle and it makes sense. This is why Licht, when he fights Asta and Yuno, he says, "That grimoire and sword no longer belongs to me." This is because the real Licht knows that he is not the one that casted the reincarnation magic, and he also knows that the devil resides in his grimoire because of the despair that he felt that day. This is why, logically speaking, he does not want his grimoire back, and he does not kill Asta or Yuno. The devil explained in chapter 197 that Licht would never have wanted to kill humans or elves. He did not want any of this war or what's happening right now. He didn't want revenge at all. So with all of this new information, everything has come full circle and makes logical sense. Like, this got me thinking a lot. We were told that grimoire disappear and cease to exist when the owner and user dies. Now we all know that Licht did die, that's the information that we have. So why didn't his grimoire disappear? Well, that might be because the owner of his grimoire is now the devil that is residing within it, or the master demon that planned all of it, like the same thing that he did with Pattoli's grimoire he did to Licht while the despair and massacre happened. Asta manifested this 5-leaf Black Clover because the demon residing within it happens to have anti-magic powers, right? Demons have different powers between them. The only person and way of him getting a user of his grimoire, the devil residing within it, is that he would have to find someone that has no mana. This way the devil inside the grimoire has a chance of taking over the person and be used as a vessel to become whole again. The devil inside Asta's grimoire also wants a real body, he has stated this himself. Now obviously, coincidentally, Asta was born with no mana, and he is that person that the devil wants. Asta manifested the powers during a time that his life was at risk, which in the Black Clover universe has already been explained and confirmed that in these times people manifest new powers beyond their normal threshold. The 5th leaf Black Clover therefore chose Asta as it was searching for someone for over 500 years and finally found someone that has no mana due to being anti-magic. So this must mean, logically speaking, right, now that the master demon has put despair into Pattoli and has created a new 5-leaf Black Clover, there must be a new devil residing inside it. We were told by Tabata, the creator of Black Clover, also the Black Clover guidebooks for example, that the 5th clover on the grimoire represents the devil. Even the manga states this. This means that the new book must also have a new demon within it that got created, and this new demon will also need a body to manifest within. This is something I talked about in my analysis last week. Last week I stated that Pattoli's book was turning black and could possibly be turning into a new Black Clover grimoire. I even said something along the lines of a fallen angel concept, right, where a new demon is going to be born out of despair of Pattoli, and I think that might have just happened. It's a possibility. Although I wasn't 100% correct in my prediction, I was pretty close, because if you watch all of my videos, you would also remember that I said something about elves turning into something demonic and evil. Pattoli, due to the despair and the curse of reincarnation magic, you guys have to remember this, there is something called the Wicked Heart or something. It helped them turn into a dark elf. This was also foreshadowed to be possible and is not an ass pull. We all knew about this Wicked Heart curse from beforehand, but the elves thought the way to get rid of this curse was to finish the reincarnation spell, but boy were they wrong. Remember when I said in my chapter 195 analysis video, I talked about when Asta and Yuno fought an elf in Hage village. You can see Asta say he is sensing a feeling from the elf. Yuno's spirit says that the elf isn't controlling his magic and his soul is going out of control. Yuno also states that his soul is suffering and mentioned how this elf at this rate he's going to become something entirely different, something that isn't even an elf anymore. We now know the guy in that chapter was basically changing into a dark elf. This also occurred with the elf in Luck, if you can remember. When Asta fought Luck, the elf became so crazy that he started to look like a demon. In manga chapter 163, Asta states the elf within Luck, his magic power is expanding, it's getting darker and sinister. At this rate, he is gonna turn into completely different type of evil. Now again, the same thing for the elf in Luck. We now understand that the elves with the Wicked Heart curse eventually with enough despair turn into dark elves. Now this all makes perfect sense. This is why, in my opinion, this is one of the greatest arcs ever in modern shonen. None of the things that we are seeing are ass pulls. Every single arc that preceded this one have connected and interlinked with the one that we are reading now. Everything has been foreshadowed and led up to the moments to blow our freaking minds. Tabata has been planning this for years, it seems, and he knew that he wanted to do this with the storyboard. I have to give the man some props and respect when he deserves it. This devil portrayal, for example, is not an ass pull at all. Otherwise, you know, how the hell did I predict it correctly in my theory that the elf massacre was an inside job? This is because the writing is great in Black Clover that left clues and foreshadowed that idea for me to come to that logical conclusion. A ass pull is something like Black Zetsu and Kaguya. Nothing in the Naruto universe told any of us fans that this was possible or something that was going to happen. It literally came out of nowhere with no explanation until after it happened. This arc is basically the Naruto Kaguya betrayal arc done right. The next topic is about Yuno's parents. It has been confirmed who the elf is residing within Yuno. We now know that the elf within Yuno is the unborn child of Licht and Tetia. Now if you haven't seen my theory video on who are Asta and Yuno's parents, please go watch it after this video because I explained in that video how this makes perfect sense on why Yuno is an elf. Last week a lot of people read a mistranslation. It was Licht's child that was awakening within Yuno, and the devil confirms it again in this chapter by saying Yuno is the destined human harboring the child of being half human and half elf. Now why did he say destined? We need to look into that. There must be a reason it was destined. Destiny means something that will be absolutely coming true and was gonna happen. This means Yuno was 100% going to be Licht's child within him, right? Who caused this to happen? Was it Licht himself or Tetia or the devil? Now that's a big question that we all have. Moving on, the devil whilst leaving says he will take Asta's body before he dies. We still do not know for what purpose. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. However, the demon says now that he has his dark grimoire and a new body bag after 500 long years, he can finally achieve his true power and form. Licht resisted at the very last moment 500 years ago to become a dark elf, although his grimoire somehow became a 5-leaf clover, right? Now I'm going to speculate that the first Wizard King and Tetia being there for Licht must have stopped him from this happening, stopped Licht from becoming a dark elf. This is why the devil's original plan likely failed, as he mentioned in the chapter, and this will also mean why Licht does not hate humans in present time, and when he gets his personality back, he will reveal a lot of information and work with humans once again. This is because it was a human, his best friend, the first Wizard King, and his wife that saved him from despair from becoming a dark elf. This will push the plot forward and make Licht unite with his son Yuno and Asta to go fight the new demon one day in a future arc. We have to remember they all still believe in the same ideology that there should be no racism or prejudice. Asta literally says this to the dog elf Pattoli at the end of the chapter, that we should be able to understand each other, right? Overall, the writing and sympathy we can feel for Pattoli is fantastic. Tabata is doing a great job of emphasizing that the elves were not truly evil. We have to understand their side of the story and put ourselves in their shoes. He said in a recent interview shown in Jump, for example, that elves are not really bad people, and he wanted to pick them as their good side and how they are, and I really do think he's doing that, and it's great. Last but not least, everything I have said so far is my speculation and analysis. For all we know, there might not be a new devil created into the new 5-leaf black clover that the new demon has, right? Maybe it's just a 5-leaf grimoire that is dark, that he needed to get his original powers, just as he stated in the chapter, because he mentioned it over and over and over again that it was all part of his plan. For all we know, we can have an even bigger plot twist that blows our goddamn minds, where Licht that we see isn't the real Licht that we know from the past. What if the devil also reincarnated the demon god that they defeated, and the demon god is inside the real Licht, just how this master demon was inside Ron? Literally anything is possible. Maybe that's why Licht isn't acting normal or saying much, because the demon god doesn't want to give his position away, right? Or what if the master planning demon that we know right now that we see was the demon god in the end himself that got defeated? This is why he said, I can finally get all my powers and form back. Maybe this new demon has a transformation ability which makes him go into the demon god form. All of these thoughts are running through my head, and it's too much for me, guys. Anyways, you know, that's everything I wanted to say for this week's chapter. Make sure to join me next week and follow me on Twitter to join on the discussions, and I'll see you guys next time.